Hello everyone, and welcome to Golf Center's coverage of the 2016 Golfweek Amateur Tour National Championship. I'm your host, Chris Tremblay, and we're coming to you from the beautiful Hampton Hall Club, the primary facility for this year's tournament. To get a better understanding of the magnitude of this event and the numbers involved with players, the average PGA Tour event has anywhere from 144 to 156 players. The Masters every year, about 90 to 100 players. This year, despite Hurricane Matthew, which has pushed this tournament back a couple weeks, we have 660 players here. That's right, 660 players. And how did they all get here? Well, you need to understand now how the Golfweek Amateur Tour works. They have chapters all over the country, from up in New England all the way down to San Diego. And throughout the course of the year, players accumulate points in their respective flights, which garner them the right to be part of this tournament. Now, we know we're at Hampton Hall today, and it doesn't mean it's the only course that is hosting all of these players, okay? Each flight, which, and there's 5 of them, has 54 holes they're playing of individual stroke play over 7 courses. And needless to say, you think that handicaps come into play. Well, they do not. 0 to 3.9 is the scratch flight, and they go upwards from there. 54 holes of individual stroke play, but the one catch is that for the flights of A, B, C, and D, excluding the championship flight, the max score they can take on a hole is a triple bogey. So therefore, that avoids maybe somebody taking a really big number coming down the stretch, and we'll see how that plays out today. Our 7 host facilities are 2 on Hilton Head, Atlantic Dunes, which has recently been redone by Davis Love III, and Dolphin Head, and here in Bluffton we have Eagles Point and Crescent Point, along with Hilton Head National, Pinecrest, and of course our primary facility, Hampton Hall. Now, we want to make sure that everybody has a good idea as to who our leaders are going into the 3rd round. In the championship flight, Jay Barnes has shot 143 over 2 rounds. He's got a 4-stroke lead over Joe Jaspers and Zach McKelvey. Joe Jaspers is a multi-time winner of this event in the championship flight, so it ought to be interesting to see if he can make a move here today in day 3. In the 8th flight, they're over at Hilton Head National. Tom Chambers is at 153. He plays out of the Charlotte chapter. Dwayne Schock is at 154, along with John Mellon. In the B flight, which is what we're covering here today at Hampton Hall, we have James Bird, who's at 161, Randy Dorsey's at 165, and we have 4 players that are 5 strokes back at 166. So playing that beautiful back 9 here with a couple testy holes at the end, it ought to be interesting to see what happens there. The C flight, they're over at Eagles Point. Miguel Tonito is at 168. Michelle Gillen is at 169, along with Wayne Grease. We're going to see how that plays out over at Eagles Point. And finally at Pinecrest, Michael Martin is at 183, Jeff Myers at 184, and Jonathan Pinkney at 186. So with all of these different competitions going on, and we're going to sum everything up for you at the end of the day, it ought to be interesting to see how things play out. When we come back here on Golf Center, we're going to be joined by Dennis McCormick, the Golfweek Amateur Tour Director and Chairman. So stick with us, sit back, and relax. We'll be back right after this.